Good morning, everyone. My name is Pradyumna Pradhan, and in this video storytelling presentation, we're going to discuss the organizational culture, employee satisfaction, and performance chain. Where my research topic is the impact of organizational culture on employee job satisfaction and its effect on job performances and overall organizational productivity. So here, we're going to look into how organizational culture shapes employees' job satisfaction and what that relationship really means for overall performance and productivity. So, if culture drives performance, why is the evidence so uneven? I mean, 78% of the CEOs rank culture amongst the top three factors affecting a firm's performance. The research tension is that despite near executive conviction, many academia has a somewhat uneasy relationship with this claim. I mean, culture sounds decisive in practice, but different papers, different scholars persistently disagree about how to define organizational culture rigorously and how to measure it with consistency and how what are the key instruments to validate those measures and how to attribute performance changes to cultural intervention. And this gap is where our research begins. I mean, executive intuition and empirical evidences are two different things. The problem is bigger than what makes happy employees. It is more about how culture is experienced, the potential pathways, and the risks of oversimplification. I mean, there are employees who encounter cultures through different signals like support, fairness, leadership, and different norms. The those signals can influence job satisfaction, which may in turn shape their effort, their collaboration, the employee retention level, and performance outcome. Organization may invest in broader culture and cultural change programs without knowing the the result of the particular program, which may lead to wastage in resources and many disappointment and failures in the program. So, why the chain matters to an organization? So, an organization is not an organization without the different aspect of it, like the employees, the different silos they work in, and other factors as well. And for employees, satisfaction reflects whether the work environment feels supportive, meaningful, and workable. However, for managers, culture is not just a value statement, it is more than it. I mean, through decisions, through their daily routines, and their relationship. And for an organization, productivity depends more on objective outcomes, operating system, leadership styles, and etc. that work practices all contribute in. So, the missing link from culture to outcome. So culture is just shared value and norms, whereas job satisfaction is the employee's attribution towards the work, where the individual performance varies the task efficiency and quality, and the overall organizational productivity looks into the output and efficiency. So, prior studies like the literature reviews we viewed often examine culture and performance or climate and satisfaction in isolation, which means that culture and performances are two different variables, and the full pathway is rarely tested with end to end. And the further problem is the measurement. I mean, perceived performances consistently show stronger relationship than hard outcomes such as revenue, product profitability, or headcount growth. So what did we find out from this research? Like, we found out how is organizational culture related to employee satisfaction, and does the job satisfaction really help in explaining the difference between individual job performances, etc. When we also found out, like, when do employees level of relationship translate to organizational productivity, and of course the boundaries conditions, like which cultural dimension or contextual factors strengthen or weaken the chain. So this is the working model where culture acts through experience. I mean, it's not a mediating, I'm sorry, it is a mediating, not direct model, where the job satisfaction is shown as a possible mediator between cultural input and performance outcome. And there is a critical methodological distinction where culture creates the condition for satisfaction. Satisfaction may translate condition into effort and behavior, and performance result from behavior. Moreover, many other factors. This model does not claim that culture alone causes performance. There are multiple pathways and confounds exist. And satisfaction is not a mediator. Satisfaction is a mediator and not a cause. So how we investigated the questions? We used evidence synthesized approach. We synthesized peer-reviewed quantitative evidences on organizational culture, work outcomes, and satisfaction, drawing published systematic reviews and meta-analysis rather than reporting an original survey. So here are four prominent validated cultural instruments were specifically targeted in our investigation, like DOCS, Dension Organizational Cultural Survey, OCAI, Organizational Cultural Assessment Instrument, OCI, Organizational Cultural Inventory, and OCP, Organizational Culture Profile. So my search parameters were meta-analysis, primary studies from from early 2000s to 2019. Key terms were culture, organizational culture, performance, and workplace. Our databases were mostly peer-reviewed quantitative outlets and 2025 reviewed paperworks. So we had to protect the review from weak evidence, and how we did it was through rigorous dual reviewing. This was done by me and a friend who had already completed the course. He helped me through 500 study titles and abstracts. We also looked independently through uh, third-party reviewers, and there were no prior knowledge to the initial assessment. We focused on quantitative empirical evidences, like the quantitative empirical workplace studies that measured culture or climate links to the organizational outcome. We also designed quality weight, where systematic reviews and meta-analysis were treated as a strong for casual interference than cross-sectional surveys, where common method bias and self-report limitation are most accurate. So the evidence based was broad, but it was selective. So first evidence review was between culture and performance. We reviewed about 500 title screened, of which like 63 studies were selected, and only 15 were included in the final. That was because rigorous inclusion reduced our initial pool from 63 to 15, ensuring the depth, breadth, and filtering out weak designs. And the second evidence between culture and satisfaction recorded about 112 papers, out of which 30 met inclusion criteria through correlation, regression, and or effect size data. Prisma supported systematic review methodology was applied here, and quantitative articles with correlation, regression were included. Purely descriptive and qualitative work was included. So the findings was that a favorable organization culture is linked to the satisfaction. Uh, what 2025 analysis found was there was a positive correlation between organizational culture and job satisfaction, where culture consistently reported as feeling more satisfied at work regardless of the sector. The finding held across multiple industries context, suggesting that not a sector specific that this is not a sector specific phenomenon but a general pattern in evidence based. There were three factors that appeared most relevant. A perceived support, whether employees feel backed by their organizational or immediate manager. The leadership quality, a day to day behavior of the leader, was a key carrier of cultural signal, and promotional opportunities like career advancement, career growth as concerned manifestation of organizational fairness and culture, where let's let's see it like this: culture is experienced through concrete management practices and not just through mission statement. Well, this why this matters was this is not implicated to only one particular aspect of an organization, but like for like there are implications for like employees, for organization, and for businesses. Like for employees, a supportive culture leads to higher job satisfaction, reducing stress or burnout, and forcing their sense of belonging, contributing to general personal, greater personal fulfillment and career longevity. For organization, this study matters is because satisfied and engaged employees are most productive, creative, and committed. They contribute higher quality of work, they collaborate efficiently, and are more likely to drive innovation solutions that benefit the organizational productivity. And for the businesses, organization with a thriving culture enjoy lower turnovers. They attract top talent and build stronger customer loyalty. So, my final message is that culture is the engine of the performance. A favorable organizational culture experienced through perceived support and quality leadership directly enhances employee satisfaction, serving as the critical link to unlocking organizational productivity and sustainable growth. With this, I'd like to conclude my video storytelling presentation. Thank you.